Hey Hebrew fans, this is Todd. So today I'm going to open up the Manny Faces from He-Man the Masters of the Universe Filmation Style Classics line. So before I do, quick update. There is the new head on Superman. For those that watched my last video 5 minutes ago, way cool. This is now my favorite figure. I mean, look at the difference in those heads. That is really cool. Now the bad news is I still have this figure left over with, if you stick a head on him, it just looks ridiculous. Any other heads just look huge on him and make him look extremely small with these large giant heads. But I don't know. I might sell this figure online without a head. We'll see. But let's jump into Manny Faces. So there he is. Let's go ahead and open him up and compare him with the old figures from the 80s and 2000s and the one that came out with Classics. Let's first open the box. Now, Manny Faces is one of my favorite He-Man figures. He just, if you were to say what is Masters of the Universe all about, I think he's one of those figures that really represents the line well. He has the name Manny Faces because he has many faces. So it kind of plays on the idea of, the name plays on the action feature that he has. So there he is. Now he does come with lots of extra weapons, which is really cool, kind of reminiscent of the Manny weapons we had years ago. So that's pretty cool. So we'll take a look at those too. Let's first get them out of the box. Let's take off the wire on the back. Cut off any rubber bands. Now, some other figures we've had in this line, we've had issues with this actually rubbing and taking the paint off. So I was a little worried about that here, but it looks like it's all pretty good. So let's go ahead and bust them out of here. What's cool about Manny Faces is he kind of has the barbarian type look with, all the parts the way they are. Yet at the same time still has technology. Now his face does change and rotate. So let's take a look here. Here is the human face right here. And if you rotate it with your thumb, you can then have, wow, that's pretty hard to do. Should have put a knob or something on there, but maybe the head comes off. Nope, wait. Maybe not. Okay, anyway, there's his robot face. And last but not least, there is his cool monster face. Raw, Manny Faces. I'll put it back to his human face because that's the face I want to compare with the other figures. There we go. All right, so articulation. That's cool. Look at the new rocker ankle joints. It has I don't think it's actually going through. It's actually solid there, so it's kind of cool. We've seen that before on the figures, but it's just kind of funny how that point lines up right there where that detail is. And the pinholes are smaller on these new figures, which I like. Bend there. He does have the ankle twist, so that's cool. Ugh. There we go. I'm afraid he's going to break them for a second there, trying to get him to go forward. And the waist swivels, the shoulder moves, bicep turn, elbow bends, and the wrist bends, which is kind of a cool new feature. And this wrist bends as well. Now what's interesting is some figures in the line came with this idea where the wrist on this side would go up and down instead of back and forth. I kind of wish they would have kept that, because that way then you could, have different configurations on the hands, whether it's the right or the left. I know for consistency, people like it being the same, but I prefer to have one go up and down and one go left and right, just so you can put a sword in his hand and have him pointed at people and other things like that. We know for some reason a lot of the figures are right-handed, so it makes it easier with the right hand, have that extra swivel going that way. But there is the new figure, pretty cool. And here are his weapons. So let's take a look at some of these weapons from the Filmation cartoon. We got this cool gun blaster thing with a blade on it. This small, interesting looking gun of some sort. I don't remember the storyline behind it. Maybe you could post in the comments, let us know what this is supposed to be. Then we have the gun that the figure always came with. It's a little smaller than we're used to seeing, but it's still pretty neat looking, very detailed. And then we have a special weapon for Buzz Off. Now, I've actually made this on my Shapeways store a long time ago, so I didn't really need one, but it's still cool to have it, and it's got some neat little details on it on the handle as well, you can see on there. So, Buzz Off now has his signature weapon that you've seen him using in different medias. And then we have this blade, spinny thing, attached in a little baggie in the back. Let's go ahead and open this up. Look at that. All right. If you know what this is for, post it in the comments. Again, I'm not familiar with this. I'm sure it probably matches something in some cartoon somewhere. So, post a comment, let me know. Let's go ahead and compare. So here is the figure from the 80s. People always thought it was kind of interesting because it was orange. They always wondered, hey, is he supposed to be wearing an orange jumpsuit, or is his skin color actually orange? That was always the question. And you can see he has the gun. Let's see how reminiscent of it is of the very similar, kind of cool. I've always liked him using this sword right here. It always reminded me of the actor aspect. Those like little wooden swords they had. Kind of fun. I personally put some rubber bands that I stole from my wife to use for a holster. So, I don't know, kind of a crazy idea to steal my poor wife's rubber bands for her hair. And of course I matched it blue so it'd match the figure a little bit. So there is the one from the 80s. Then we have the 2000X. Now 2000X, I really love the detail in these and the storyline behind it. It's so cool. And of course they followed suit with the orange markings. And the details are just phenomenal on the 2000X. The bad part is the lack of articulation. Now this is not his gun that he came with. This would be cool if he did come with his gun, but instead he came with this large, huge, giant, bulky, massive gun, which is just ridiculous. But I know 2000X had a lot of ridiculous features like that. And then he had this, looks like a club, but really it is the projectile that you would use inside the gun. Looks like it might be broken inside. We'll have to cheat. There we go. All right. And of course, as he changes faces, he might switch weapons, so he might use the club projectile while he's in beast mode. Beast mode. All right. So then we have the classics. This is probably my favorite. I like they finally toned down the skin tone from the orange. He originally had black eyes, but I painted mine white. So you can see the eye colors changed to white. And then, of course, his head turns. And a fun feature is you can actually pull this off and see his different heads he had. And this little piece here was skin colored all the way across. I took a black permanent marker and just kind of marked the inside of it. So when it goes on there, you can't see that top little piece where the skin would be visible in the past. So let me show you how it looks. Pop that back on. And before, sometimes you would see a little bit of skin right there at the top and it just looked really strange. So there we go. There is our lineup of Man-E-Faces. And again, this is like one of my favorite figures. I mean, it has so much playability. It's unbelievable with the changing of the faces and just his style of costume, and the colors are just some of my favorites. So leave your comments below. And if you know what these things are supposed to be, this weird propeller thing, is it just to cool off his friends, or is it some kind of chopping device to chop down weeds in the forest, or is it to blow away stink or smoke, or whatever it is, let us know in the comments. This one too, what's it supposed to be? Is it supposed to be some kind of special thing to show off a slideshow on the screen, or is it some kind of blast ray, or is it some kind of something else? Just let us know. Maybe it's just the gun he used in the cartoon. I'll have to rewatch the cartoon and see. And that's really all I was curious about. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. I do have other classics or other Filmation characters to open as time goes on. So stay tuned, and I will open up some other figures I have that I just recently got in the mail. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. Please share. I want to grow this channel, and hopefully we can get this channel booming, and then I will have more videos to show. Thanks, you guys.